What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
JamesShow.com.
How
are you? It's the holidays, it's Christmas, well kind of, but I mean it's exciting.
I'm fired up, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, it's film.
Yes.
I've only personally done a little around 70 films this year.
Yeah.
You've done 70 last week. And yeah, so I'm just jacked up. You know, we just got finished on talking about Angelina Jolie's Unbroken, excuse me, which was broken. Check out that review on Chasing Cinema.
Cover.
But now we're.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, but now, all off the dome, by the way. But now we're gonna get a little musical.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about Annie because we did that already.
Yes.
We're talking about Disney.
Into the Woods.
We got the Oscar award-winning
Meryl Streep.
Which anything she's in, she will be nominated.
We have Emily Blunt.
Which I love.
A woman that I've been crushing on for as long as I can remember, Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick, Frozen, yeah.
And,
but nothing wrong with her.
And then we have director Rob Marshall.
Whoa.
Oh.
Captain Kirk. Chris Pine.
Chris Pine, yeah. Sorry, I mean, I saw the film, I saw how much of a role he had, so it might have slipped my mind.
Move forward very quickly.
Rob Marshall, who has brought in the world Chicago, one of the most popular and successful musicals of like, you know, modern times. Musical isn't necessarily a dying format, it is kind of staying, but it is not a very popular format, nearly as much as it was at one point in time in America. But I love musicals. I really enjoyed last year's Les Miserables. There are a lot of other Les Miserables, as you would if you were French. There are tons and tons.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, no, I probably butchered that. But there are plenty of music. Annie, which is last week, you know, I enjoyed. I've never been someone who dislikes musicals. I know that is a big turnoff for people, but I love them.
It's funny, real quick. So I went in with our friend Naughty to watch Annie a couple days ago, and then after the first song, he looks at me after the Hard Knock Life Jay-Z song. He looked at me and said, "Is this a musical?" And I just did this.
I love musicals. I think because though I am a big fan of classic American cinema, that I am just in love with musicals and the things that they could do with it. Rob Marshall, like I said, brought Chicago. He later directed Memoirs of a Geisha, which is a beautiful, beautiful film that a lot of people have praised before. However, Rob Marshall also directed On Stranger's Tide from Pirates of the Caribbean film,
which I loved.
Did you?
Captain Jack, man.
Okay.
Captain Jack could come out with any film, and as long as it's Jack Sparrow in that Black Eyeliner, I'm in, man. Savvy?
When you guys are watching Transformers 5, he's the reason why. He's the genesis of why. Even though Mark Wahlberg wants to do more, which is great, because as we talked about last week, he's totally using his full potential.
You know, because Gambler's not working out. Just being honest, I'm excited.
So Rob Marshall's last couple films, I know there was another one besides Stranger's Tide that haven't really worked, but you know, Meryl Streep in a Disney movie that kind of brings in the fairy tales excites me. Though I am interested in the fact that this movie tends to look really very Tim Burton-ish. Though it is not Tim Burton, it's Rob Marshall. So Rob Marshall's kind of changing up his style, but I'm very interested to see what's going on.
You think he's changing up his style, or Disney said, "Look, dude, when Tim Burton did Alice in Wonderland, we made $1 billion." And we still want you to have your artistic integrity. However, sir, mimic this.
I mean, I'm not sure because I'm sure they want some mimic style, but you know, this play is loved all over.
Yes,
I've unfortunately never seen this play. It's one of the most revived play that's ever.
We both saw Wicked.
Yes, which we both love, but this is a very big revival. It is constantly being revived. However, it didn't win many Tonys because it came out the same year Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera came out.
You know?
So, but I mean, it's been around since I believe the late 70s, and a lot of people loved it. I've heard many great things. I used to be in theater and I used to hear about it all. I never saw it personally, so I'm very excited to see Into the Woods.
Nothing to do with this, but did you see Andrew Lloyd Webber's the roller skate one that was at the Hilton? Kent, what was it? Do you remember that one? Starlight Express.
Yes. It's funny you actually brought that up because I remember seeing something when I was a younger kid, and I went and saw it, and I remember there was about people on rollerblades, there was a train
Starlight Express player.
And I looked it up the other day to remember the name because I couldn't remember because I was so young, and it was Starlight Express. I don't remember anything about Starlight Express, but I remember I saw it at one point when I was a kid.
Do you remember EFX at MGM?
No.
All right, move forward. All right, so this movie is how long?
It's about 2 hours.
Okay.
Every movie we're talking about is kind of around that 2 hour
Let's
range.
get fancy.
Let's do it.
And we'll be back. We just got out of Into the Woods.
Into the Woods. That was actually a different song. Anyway.
And mine was just, I apologize now. Please don't unsubscribe.
I always wanted to be a singer. I ended up doing this.
You know when you win that.
Not that it's a bad thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so we just got out of Disney's Into the Woods, ChasingCinema.com. How was the movie?
Let's just say I wasn't singing my way out of the theater. I was surprisingly disappointed at Into the Woods. First of all, we have an interesting cast that most of which are not used effectively, i.e. Chris Pine, who I totally forgot was even in the movie. We have all these characters playing fantasy characters that are very much like the Grimm fairy tales, a lot more darker than we kind of learned through Disney. And we have this musical that really doesn't really get you excited to sing. It all kind of just seems to be happening. My main problem with the film is that it goes a certain way for about an hour and 15 minutes. And then it makes this complete 180. 360. Or 360 all the way around.
That's around again, dude.
Okay, so 180.
Yes.
And goes in a complete different direction that I could not follow, I did not understand. We have characters doing things that like, as we learn through them, that character would not do. You know what I mean? We have characters telling us what happened off screen so they could just simply tell us rather than show us and be creative. I mean, I could not stand this turn. I mean, I was enjoying it. There was no real emotion, there was no real heart in the film, but I thought I was having fun. But in that last 35-40 minutes, it turned into having fun to being one of the most disappointing films of the year. And I mean that in all honesty. Disappointing because I thought it was going to be so good. I don't think it was a terrible film, but it wasn't a good film even. I mean, it's really like a very mediocre, below mediocre film. I think Meryl Streep was great in it. I think Meryl Streep is the heart and soul.
She got nominated, right, by Golden Globes.
That was, you know, I'm not. I've admittedly said on this video review that she is one of the best actors that ever lived. Period.
In the history of life.
In history of life, but she does not deserve that nomination. I think she is the heart and soul for this movie. I think she carried this film, but there is no way in need of a deserving nomination out of any of this film. It also earned Best Picture for a comedy or musical at the Golden Globes, and also Best Actress for Emily Blunt, which I don't agree with. I mean, there's a character that we follow who supposedly loves this other character, and is dedicating their life to them, and then when something happens to that character, he just starts singing. No emotion, no feeling. I mean, it absolutely infuriated me. I can't say that much without giving it away because that last 180 is just like totally getting rid of characters and getting them sick or killing them off. I can't even really talk about it unless you've seen the play. You know exactly what I'm talking about. However, in the play's defense, I heard that the film and the play are much different in the sense that the play, the part where I said it makes a total 180, is half of the play, which is also much longer. Into the Woods, the movie is like 2 hours and some odd minutes. I heard the play is about 3 hours. And they're equally distributed, so it would have given them time to show us and to really make us feel certain things. With this film, it just goes, whoop, and then it's like, whoa. And then you have characters doing things that don't make sense. I hate that. Anna Kendrick is just kind of there. And you know, the music didn't super impress me.
Yeah, because one of the key components of Into the Woods is people love the music.
Which is quite interesting because, you know, I would love to hear a Broadway version of the Broadway album, because there isn't really song so much as they're singing to the same tone the entire time, which I could see is useful, but I don't think anyone really delivered a great, you know, musical performance. I think Meryl Streep sang kind of nice at some points. I think there's one song that I actually really enjoyed, but other than that, I just did not feel this movie at all. I was really disappointed. I don't think it's a terrible film, but at the same time, when you line it up to the films that we've been seeing this last month, hell, the last 4 months, it just completely doesn't look good.
Looks like we're gonna have to just let it go.
Yeah, I think it got lost on its way into the woods. There was a really cool feeling though that they really tried to, you know, instead of being real CGI and real like we're in this place, it had a very wonderful element of theatrics. Like Johnny Depp plays the big bad wolf. Not long.
We didn't even mention him.
Well, because he's in the film for 3 minutes. You know, instead of making him a wolf or kind of making him a CGI version of a wolf, you know, they literally just have Johnny Depp wear a hat and wear whiskers. So it's very theatrical in the sense that instead of dressing him up as a wolf, they dress him up as someone would dress up as a wolf in a play, you know? And I really appreciated things like that. I thought it was a very cool kind of vibe, but they don't use that to their advantage, more or less. They only use that in parts rather than a whole. So overall, I mean, there was really disappointing to me. I've talked to my friends who do theater and told me that the play's amazing and it all makes sense, and I'm just like, these characters are doing things that don't make sense and they're not along with their character. And I just really really dislike certain parts of it. I can't really go into detail though.
The truth is, if you want to know more though, you go to ChasingCinema.com/Into
the Woods,
and then you can get the full-on review in depth.
Yes.
Out of 4 stars, any ideas?
Yeah, well, I've already reviewed this film, and I won't be ashamed because I am openly wanting to talk to people who are dedicated their life to theater and see this movie, because you can't argue with me if you've only seen the play, because that's not what I'm arguing about, and seeing this movie and tell me that it is very good, because I only gave it a 1 star. That is the lowest rating I've probably given in the past 6 months.
That's like how you felt in January.
Yes.
You were like, this is gonna be a bad year.
I gave Annie a higher rating than I gave Into the Woods.
Annie was just cheesy.
But it was cute.
Yes.
And it worked. And I felt entertained.
Which is the whole point.
Wasn't.
You know what? The truth is, the simple fact of the matter, fact of the matter is this. All film is subjective, and we want to know if you watched it. Let us know what you think of the. No, it's all subjective.
Kind of.
Meaning all of it is. So watch, check out the movie, and then come back to the video. Let us know in the comments below, like what you know.
I want to hear people. People think I'm just saying this, and I'm like, I'm right, you're all wrong. I want to hear your opinions. I want to have a conversation going. I want people to talk to me, because everyone that has talked to me, unfortunately, has not seen the film yet because it doesn't come out till Christmas. But when people do, I'm ready for it. I'm saying, bring it on. I want to hear what they have to say, and I want to go see the. It honestly. The one thing it did do right is that it made me really want to go see the play, because I want to see the play and see if it does it justice.
Because everyone says the play is so good.
Yeah, absolutely, and because this film didn't do it justice, and that's what people are saying, so I want to go see the play.
That makes sense. Do you think Cinderella's gonna be anything like this? I know it's different, and Cinderella's not a musical, but...
I think Cinderella's gonna fall into more of the...
Alice in Wonderland?
Not Alice in Wonderland category. What was the other one? Snow White and the Huntsman? I mean, it's not going to be like an action film like that, but it's going to kind of have that realism, where it's not going to be necessarily so dark, but it's going to kind of have that same feel where it's like, this is real life, this isn't really a fantasy, you know. Oh, and this In the Woods, I don't know if it's like this in the play, very misogynistic, I'm just saying. You don't want to be a girl in this movie, that's all I'm saying. It's very, very misogynistic. But anyway.
Just saying.
I digress.
By the way, for your information, just so you know, moving forward very quickly.
Yes, check out our other reviews for the holiday films.
We did Annie, we did Unbroken.
Well, and we're gonna do The Imitation Game.
Keira Knightley.
And we're gonna do Big Eyes, the new Tim Burton film.
Amy Adams on fire to motivate and passion in a brand new way like never before.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be back, guys.